So from today onwards, we are going to start Docker. So if you don't know what is DevOps, ignore. We are going to discuss about this DevOps and all. But today's focus only was to how to like. Today we will start with Docker, and for this Docker, it will take 10 days to complete, right? And I already share you the calendar as well, right? Let me show you that DevOps class calendar, Docker class calendar, right? This is the class 1 that is on 26th February. So class 2 tomorrow up to 1st March you will be having 5 classes. Then after Saturday and Sunday will be holiday, right? Then after from 4th to 8th another 5 classes. Nothing but in 10 classes total Docker will be completed. By 8th March your Docker will be completed. So in between you will be having 2 days, right? That's a doubt clarification. The 2 days you can practice and you can ask any doubt. Not only on these 2 days, daily also you can practice and you can ask. So every day 9 to 10 a.m. class will be conducted, okay? And every recording will be provided via Google Drive. For the first two days I will be updated on YouTube, but remaining you will get via Google Drive. Okay, now if you see I've already prepared the 10 days of content. Okay, now I want to show you what is this Docker. Okay, what is Docker? So just read this. Let's say you created an application and that's working fine in machine. Nothing but just imagine development team has created a gaming application and he has installed in his laptop. He is playing the game, right? It is working super. He is happy with that. Then after another team requested, hey, I want to play that game, please give it to me. So development team is nothing but a nickname, okay? Don't confuse. Okay, production team also want to play that game. What they have done, okay, they have taken that game and they have installed in his laptop, but in production it does not work properly. Then what will happen? Obviously they both will fight, right? What production team will tell, hey, your application is not working, your game is not working in my laptop. He will show, hey, it is working in my laptop, I am playing, you can see it. Okay, this is what will happen in every company. In one system it will work, in another system it will not work. What is the reason? Let us find out. It might be reason of dependencies, it might be the reasons of versions or libraries. If you see, he might be using Windows 7 system because it is not supporting. He might be using Windows 11, which is latest version, because that's the reason his application is working, his game is working, right? Different reasons will be there. I am not telling only this one reason will be there, right? OS level feature will be there, frameworks will be there, libraries, dependencies. Some softwares only support on Windows 11, some softwares will not support on Windows 7, right? Many reasons will be there. That's the reason one application, if one application runs on one system, that application will not run on another system. This is the main reason every company is following, right? Just a moment. Okay, try to join before 9 itself. I cannot accept. So this problem was solved by Docker. So what is this Docker? Ignore. So here the main issue was, in his system it is working, application is working perfectly. In his system application is not working. This problem was solved by Docker. How it is solved, we will learn. What is this Docker? Ignore. We in next few days we are going to learn. So we need a standardized way to package the application with its dependencies and deploy it on any environment. Nothing but on any environment, nothing but on any system, my application should be work without any problems. So Docker is a tool designed to make it easier to create, deploy and run application by using containers. So what is this container? Ignore it. Docker is just a software which will help you to run your application. How it will run? It will use a container to run the application. Okay. How does Docker work? Docker packages an application and all its dependencies in a virtual container that can run on any Linux server. Nothing but Docker is nothing but a magic box. Okay, using that magic box we can able to run our application. So what is that magic box? What is that container? That's the secondary, we will learn. But Docker just solved the problem. If you use Docker, your application will work on any way using that magic box. So each magic box container is nothing but magic box, runs an isolated process in the user space and take up less space than regular VMs due to their layered architecture. So what is this VMs? What is this less space? I will discuss in next few minutes. If you don't understand this terminology, just read it again. This thing we are going to discuss right away. So each container runs as an isolated process in the user space that take up less space than regular VMs due to their layered architecture. So container take very less space compared to virtual machines. Okay, what is that virtual machine? What is the less space? We will discuss. So it will always work the same regardless of its environment, whether it may be Windows 7, whether it may be Windows 11, whether it may be Mac, whether it may be Linux, doesn't matter. Your application will work perfectly if you use Docker, right? That's the problem Docker was solved. Now you have understood what Docker solve, right? How Docker will work, we will learn. Now you got clarity, right? Just give a thumbs up so that I will get an idea. You got a clarity what Docker solves the problem. How Docker works, we will right away discuss. Okay, just confirm anyone so that I will continue. You got it right? Why Docker becoming nowadays trending, and what it is doing? It is problem solve so like problem that it can able to work application on any system, doesn't matter which operating system it is, right? Now am I audible, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, please respond so that. So before discussing about Docker, I want to discuss about the generations, how application is running. We need to know, right, how application is running in real world, in real time. We need to discuss that. Generations of running applications. Okay, application brings revenue. To make application run, we need servers. Obviously, if you are using Ola, you are using Rapido, you are using Book My Show, every application in the backend they are earning money, right? Without money no one will work, right? Application brings revenue, obviously that's the reason they are doing business. To make application run, we need server. Okay, application where it will run, it will run in the laptop itself, in some system. That system will call it as server. That's it. So in application running also there are three generations, like how in our family also we have three generations, right? Yes or no? In the same way in applications also there are three generations. What is that generations? Let's discuss. But before discussing, I will show you some application architecture. Nothing but whenever you visit any bookmyshow.com, the request will go to the web server. In this web server, your website data will be present. So you will log in with your username and password. That username and password is correct or not. This web server will check it in the backend inside the database. If it is correct, it will log into your website. You can able to use that. You can book any movie ticket and all. So this is the basic architecture. If you don't understand, nothing will happen. This is just basic overview. You will understand in upcoming days. So generation 1, run directly on physical server. Nothing but, just now we have seen, right? One developer, what he has done, he has installed the game in his laptop. Nothing but he has directly installed on his laptop, on his total operating system, and he is playing that game. So what are the steps involved? What you need to do, you need to purchase a physical server. If we just imagine, this is the company's perspective I'm talking. If the company want to run application on his laptop, what you need to do, you need to first purchase the CPUs, right? Hard disks, RAMs. Then after he will install an operating system on the top of that hard disk. Then after he will install the application, right, and he will play. This is the process which will involved. And what is the disadvantages? We need to discuss that one as well. Okay, problem. Just imagine, I have seen Swiggy application. I want to make same type, that type of application, so that I can able to earn money by selling food online. Okay, have done this setup, but the main drawback is, in the case of under usage, hardware resources are wasted and return on investment will be under question. Nothing but have set up everything, my application is running perfectly, but if no one uses my application, obviously whatever the invested amount, everything will be wasted, right? In the case of under usage, nothing but no one use this application, obviously whatever I've invested on the hardware, everything was wasted. And the return on investment, whatever investment return, I'm not getting anything. So yeah, can you able to mute yourself, getting some background noise?
Pawan, I can't able to see your screen. Can you share again?
Who is this?
Right. Yeah, it's me, Satya speaking.
Is everyone cannot able to see my screen?
I can see one.
Yeah, I can see.
It's
Yes,
visible.
okay. Satya,
Yeah.
rejoin
Okay,
once
let
again.
me rejoin the call. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, now I can able to see.
Okay, okay. So first generation was, they are running the application directly on the laptop, on Windows laptop or Mac laptop. Okay, but problem was, I have invested my total money. I'm expecting to earn money. Obviously, on the day one, no one will can able to like earn money, because no one will know about that application, right? Who will install, who will use that application? That is the main drawback of this running application on directly on the physical server. So if no one uses this application, my total hardware resources, whatever I invested, everything will be wasted, and the return on investment, whatever I've invested in this application, I'm investing some return to generate a money, but I'm not, it's a doubt. There is no guarantee my business will work or not. That is the generation 1, running directly on physical server. What is the generation 2? Then after, one company came into this world, which is hypervisor. So they are telling, okay, don't worry, you are running only one application on your laptop, right? Don't do that. Try to create two applications, to run two applications in your laptop. If one application is not working, you can earn money with another application, right? That's the idea came to this hypervisor company. Okay, install hypervisor on physical server, which will help in creating multiple VMs. Nothing but you can create multiple virtual machines. What is this virtual machines? Forget about it, you will learn. So hypervisor licensing costs are involved in addition to OS cost. So whatever the operating system you are using, if you are using Windows, you need to purchase the license, right? If you are maintaining a company, obviously you need to pay an amount for the operating system which you are using. And apart from that, hypervisor company also charging a license cost. because if you are using the hypervisor software. Here if you see, I am not running my application directly on the physical server, nothing but on CPU, hard disk. I am installing one software which is hypervisor, which is called as VMware software. On the top of that, it will create a virtual machine. If you want to understand this, if you are using WhatsApp, right? In your mobile, you can using clone feature, you can create another WhatsApp as well, same WhatsApp. Here also the same thing. Rather than running whole operating system on the physical server, using hypervisor software, they have made the operating system into two parts by cloning. That call it as virtual machine. That's it. Rather than running your machine, you are creating virtually two parts, two machines, so that you can run two applications. But here drawback is, at the end you are going to use the CPU and RAM of your physical server itself. In order to run this application in the back end, it will use your physical server load itself. Like what, suppose here you are taking total operating system, here also you are taking total operating system, you are running two application, nothing but, again here also there is a drawback. If the two application is not working, not getting money, whatever you are invested for your CPUs, for hard disk, everything will be huge amount. You need to invest huge money on this hardwares, and apart from that you need to pay license fee for the VMware software as well, and you need to pay for license for this multiple OSs as well. Here investment fee is huge. Our major focus was on application to earn money. Rather than application, we are investing on other things, which is a most drawback in this generation 2 as well. Generation 1, okay, you are directly running only one application. If it is fail, your total invested money will be wasted. In the generation 2, you are investing double amount. If it is successful, okay, no problem, you can take it out, whatever money you are invested. If it is not working, whatever invested money you were wasted. And one more thing, if hypervisor have a downtime, this VMware is not working, your total of two applications will stop working, right? There is also one drawback. Then after generation T3 came into this picture, that is nothing but container. What is this container? You will learn. Ignore. Okay, container is an isolated area created by container engine Docker. So Docker was created this container, which has a lean OS and application runs inside this container. Okay, what is this container? You will learn. But container is a isolated area. Who has created this? Created by Docker. What container will have? It have a operating system and application runs inside the container. Please mute yourself. Each container gets an IP address, CPU and RAM. So whatever the normal operating system will get, everything will get in the container as well. IP address, CPU, RAM. If you see, this is my physical server. Okay, I am not running my application directly on the physical server. What I will do, I will just install some Docker software. Using this Docker software, I will simply run my application. That's it, inside the container. Magic box. I told you, right? Rather than running the application directly on the installing my application directly on the physical server, what I will do, I will install my application on the magic box. And this magic box will not take total operating system. It will take lean OS, nothing but it will take only application. Imagine it will take only application with required dependencies. That's it. Whatever required dependencies, nothing but if I am running Java application, it will just take Java software. Java should be installed. That's it. Not more than that. I am talking about some technical points. You will learn. Okay, if you are get confused, don't worry. You will learn about this. Docker is solved this problem of running application on any environment because Docker has created some magic box. Right, if you see here magic box, and magic box is an isolated area. For this box and for this box there is no link, right? For suppose if you book a OYO room, right, there will be multiple floors with multiple rooms. One room and one room there is not related, right? In the one room they will be having another couple, in the another room there will be another couple. There is no link. They don't know what is happening inside. In the same way, this container is a isolated area. So I will show you real life example. Don't worry, you will understand. So this is the generation of server. On the first generation, what you have done, you are directly run in the physical server. On the generation 2, you implemented a VMware software. Here the infra cost will be huge. You are running two applications, but what is the use? At the end, you are using the infra provided by physical server itself. On the generation 2, you are using a container technology. Here the advantage is you are directly running the application inside a container. There is no cost because here they are using Linux operating system, which is free OS. So no cost is involved. So your investment will be very less compared to this. Your investment will be very less, and you are getting, if your application is successful, you will earn more money. So in the application running also there is some architecture, that is monolithic architecture and microservice architecture. What is this monolithic architecture? Nothing but you will take total application and you will work on the total application, you will create the total application. Nothing but your home page, right, add to cart, database, everything will be designed and it will be having only one database, right? You are having user interface, nothing but UI, business logic, data access layer, everything will be taken into one, and you will be having one database and it will be placed on one server. Okay, now you can ask me, okay, for suppose I got a huge traffic to my application, I need to scale the application, yes or no? At that time what I will do, I will create one more server, one more copy of this server. But the drawback is I am getting only traffic to my UI page, only on for my UI page. At that time I want to, if I scale only UI part, I don't want this business and data. I want only the scale to user interface. If you are using monolithic architecture, you need to scale total application. Whatever the money you are investing here also, you are scaling for one component, you are scaling whole application. What is the use? If you see microservice, what you will do, your total application will be divided into multiple pieces. User interface will be created as one microservice. Business logic will be created as one microservice. Whenever I get a huge traffic on the user interface, what I will do, I will create a multiple microservices, multiple user interfaces. So whenever I get a traffic will be sent to multiple different microservices, and it will be, every microservice have separate database. Okay, what I am doing, what are the application I have developed, I am not developing that application into one package. I am dividing into different pieces. Like if you see, if you go to restaurant, right, if you want to, like hotel, if you want to eat tiffin, right, there will be different different will be there, right, idli, right, dosha, everything will be separate. If I am getting more orders on dosha, I will prepare doshas, more doshas. Here also the same thing, the application is total tiffin. Okay, depending upon the traffic, what I will do, I will create only that thing itself. So this one will be created as a container. So what is this container, you will learn. So in the application running also there is some architecture, microservice and monolithic. Docker was designed for microservice. Docker was designed for microservice architecture. So what is the idea of microservices? right? This is the basic architecture I told you, right? You will be having front end, your application will have a, so this is the basic architecture. So if you see in the monolithic, your total application will be there, product, add to cart, payment, your application. This is a server 1, this is a server 2. If I get a huge traffic, I will take the total clone of this server. On one server you deploy total application. This is the monolithic. What is microservice? Your application will divide into multiple pieces. Product as a one container, add to cart, payment, product. This is another server. Product. Right? Whatever the traffic I am getting, huge traffic, I will maintain that one multiple boxes. If you see your monolithic, your total application will be scaled. Here in microservice, your application will be divided into multiple pieces. Depending upon the traffic, I will scale that one itself. If I am not getting traffic, I will delete that. So this is the basic application tier or layer. So in every application you will be having administration, right? User management, inventory, catalog, cart, payments, notifications. In WhatsApp also you will be having notifications. WhatsApp also you will be having payments, right? WhatsApp also, in if you use WhatsApp business, there will be catalog. So this is the just basic components for every application you will be having. So what is this microservice? This is all about breaking a monolithic to multiple smaller services. Each microservice generally represents a module, a functionality which can run on its own. So whatever the application you have developed, that application will be divided into multiple pieces. That's the microservice. And each microservice will run on independent. Okay. That's the beauty of this microservice. You have created add to cart a separate microservice, nothing but a separate piece, so it can run on its own. There is no dependencies on another service. Like for suppose I have created add to cart, I have created payment. Add to cart can able to run independently. It should not depend upon the payment. That's the advantage. What is this microservice? You will understand. Okay, in the first class it will be little bit confusing, but slowly every session will be like web series. Slowly you will, until the 10th class you will be expert in Docker. On the day one you will be confused what is this microservice, monolithic and all. You will going to learn. So smaller changes are possible and replacing services is easier. So because of this microservice, I told you, right, depending upon the traffic you can scale that particular microservice and you can deploy the newer version as well. So what is this microservice? This will be another topic. Okay, I'm just telling you the basic overview. If you see, I've installed Docker. What I will do, I will, what are the microservices we have discussed, right? Everything will be deployed as a container. So if you see order, catalog, cart, payment, identity, administrative service, notification. So I'm getting huge orders. So at the time what I will do, I will scale only order page. In my website, in Amazon website, I'm getting more orders on my order page itself. What I will do, I will scale that only order itself. How I will scale, what is that container, you will going to learn. I'm just telling the overview. Okay, as a DevOps engineer, what you will do? As a DevOps engineer, you need to run your application inside the container. That's it. How you will run that application, you will learn. So ensure you can scale containers automatically. Nothing but depending upon the traffic, you need to scale the containers also. And you need to enable CI/CD pipeline to make smaller changes frequently without downtime. So this is also, you need to create a CI/CD pipeline to make some changes and it should not have any downtime. So what is that? Everything you will learn. As a DevOps engineer, you need to run the application inside the container and you need to scale the container without downtime. That's the job of DevOps engineer. How you will achieve that? Next few weeks you will learn. So Docker installation. How to install Docker? Docker can be installed on any Linux or Windows operating system. So now what we can do, we can create a Linux VM in any cloud of your choice, right? You can create a Windows or you can create a Linux. So installation of AWS cloud. I have already created a separate video how to create a EC2 instance on my YouTube channel. You can visit, but I'm just tell you the basic overview, right? So create a key pair, create a security group and log into the Linux VM. After login into the Linux instance, you can install the Docker. So after Docker installation, whenever you install Docker, you will get two components, Docker client and Docker daemon. So just remember this, whenever you install Docker, you will get a two components. What is the two components? Docker client and Docker daemon. What is the Docker client? What is the Docker daemon? I will explain with real life example. Right? Real life example. Okay. Whenever you create a Docker container, right? So just imagine this is the CD. In the olden days, we used to watch movies, right? We used to purchase CD from the market. Using that CD, what we have done, we have inserted that CD into the DVD player. We can able to watch that movie. In this also the same logic Docker has used. Docker used to take the application inside this CD. What are the dependencies? What are the required softwares? Simply using that image, it will create a container. What is that image? What is that container? You will learn. I am slowly adding the new terminologies. If you see, kid is crying for chocolate. So what he will do? He will ask his mother, I want a chocolate. What mother will do? Mom will do. Mom will check in the local fridge whether chocolate is available or not. If it is chocolate is not available, what she will do? She will go and to a chocolate shop. She will purchase that chocolate. Okay, I told you, right? Whenever you install Docker, you will get two components. What is that? Docker client and Docker daemon. So here Docker client is nothing but kid. Docker daemon is nothing but mom. So Docker daemon will work 24/7 like mom. Docker client is a kid. Whenever he wants something, he will ask to mother. In the same way, whenever you install Docker, right, you will get two components, Docker client and Docker daemon. Docker client will keep on asking to Docker daemon, hey, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. Docker daemon will resolve that issue. So whenever here chocolate is equal to image. Okay. So whenever kid request for image, nothing but Docker client request for image, request will go to Docker daemon. Docker daemon will check locally whether that image is available or not in local repo. If it is not available, it will go to the Docker hub, which is a market. In this Docker hub, you will be having multiple images, lakhs, thousands of images will be there. What is this Docker image? What is this Docker container? Ignore. You will learn. So let's run some basic hello world container. How to run this hello world container? I will show you practically, don't worry. So to run a container, we need a Docker image. I told you, right? I've shown you the real life example. Without CD, you cannot able to watch a movie inside the DVD player. CD is an important component, right? In the same way, to run a container, we need a Docker image. So in the above command, hello world was name of the Docker image. If you see, Docker container run hello world. Hello world is the image of the Docker image, name of the Docker image. So I'm running the container using a image. Without image, you cannot able to create a container. Remember this, because without CD, you cannot able to watch a movie inside the DVD player, right? So Docker images, from where we got this Docker image? From Docker Hub. What is this Docker Hub? I will show you. So what happens at a high level during container creation. Okay, you are creating a container, but what happens in the backend? That's what we will discuss. So whenever you execute Docker container on hello world, what will happen? The request will go to Docker daemon. What Docker daemon will do? Docker daemon will check if there is a image called as hello world locally or not. I have shown you the real life example, right? Docker daemon mother will check locally whether that chocolate is available or not. If it is not available, it will download the image from Docker Hub. If the chocolate is not available, she will go and purchase the chocolate from the chocolate shop. In the same way, if the image is not available, Docker daemon will go and download that image from the Docker Hub, and it will take that chocolate and it will kept inside the fridge again. Docker daemon will again take that chocolate and take that image. It will kept in local system. Once it will Docker client request for to run the container, again it will give that image and they will run the container. So you will not understand, no issues. You will slowly understand these concepts. So this is the I have told you, right? Docker client forwards the request to Docker daemon. Docker engine checks for image locally. Docker image ls. If the image is not found, it tries to download from registry. By default, Docker Hub is the registry. Once the image is downloaded, Docker engine creates a container based on Docker image. To download the image from registry, we use pull. So what is this pull? What is this push? You will understand. In the next class, we are going to discuss what is this Docker image, what is this Docker container, why we are calling all these things. You will learn. But today's major focus was Docker installation, right? And what Docker is solving the problem. Now I will not going to install Docker. I will simply show you simple Docker. Try to create an account in AWS cloud or Azure cloud, whatever it may be, right? I will go to Docker playground. Okay, Docker playground. Let me show you first Docker hub, chocolate factory. I told you, right? This is the Docker hub. Here you will be having multiple images, right? You can see Postgres, MySQL, OpenJDK, Nginx, whatever you want. You can have multiple lakhs of images present in this website, in this Docker hub. This is the chocolate factory. Whenever they request images, images will be downloaded from here. If I search for Postgres, right, if you see a Docker official image, if I go inside, right, multiple version of images are there, right? What is this Docker image? You will understand. Okay, Docker client request to Docker daemon. Whenever you install Docker, you will get two components, Docker client and Docker daemon. So Docker client will request for image, Docker daemon will reply. Docker daemon at the end, it will download the image, where in the backend it will download from Docker hub itself. Okay, so Play with Docker is a free website which will give you a system. Start. Let me explain. I will show you, don't worry. This is a free website you can use for 4 hours daily. If I click on add new instance, what will happen? It will create a new Linux system with Docker already installed in it. It will give you a system with already Docker will be installed in this server. You no need to install Docker. Already Docker will be installed on this, and it will give Alt Enter. If you give Alt Enter, you will get you can maximize. Right? I will just execute Docker info. Okay. I will execute Docker version. Okay, Docker version, client Docker engine, nothing but Docker daemon. I told you, right? Whenever we install Docker, you will get two components. One is Docker client and Docker daemon. Docker engine is equal to Docker daemon. right? Whatever the command you are executing, docker version, this is a client. The command line is a client. Now I will run a simple hello world container, docker container run hello world.
The box room.
Sorry, thank you. Container run. You will not understand these commands, ignore. You will going to learn this. Hello world. Okay, enter. Unable to find image locally. Nothing but I have requested chocolate, hello world chocolate to my mummy. What she did, she has checked the image locally, chocolate locally. It is not found. Pulling from library slash hello world. I will search for hello world here. Hello world. So what daemon will do? This is the hello world image. It will pull docker pull hello world. It will pull the image in the backend from this docker hub. That's what he has done. Pulling from library, nothing but pulling from docker hub. Right? Once the pull complete, using that image, it will create a container. Right? If you just read this, Docker client contacted the Docker daemon. Docker daemon pulled the hello world image from the Docker hub. Docker daemon create a container from that image which runs the executable that produces the output. Whatever the output you have created, getting this output was came from the container. Docker daemon streamed that output to the Docker client. Docker client is nothing but the CLI which sent it to your terminal. That's it. Without image you cannot able to create a container. What is that image? What is that container? You will learn. Without CD you cannot able to watch a movie in olden days in the DVD player, right? The same way here also, without image you cannot able to create a container. What is that image? What is that container? We will going to learn. But whenever you install Docker, you will get two components, Docker client and Docker daemon. What are the commands you are executing? That is a Docker client. Okay, the request will go to Docker daemon. Now what I will do, I will show you Docker cheat sheet. You take a printout of this. Okay, docker ps fna docker run. This is the commands, Docker commands. Try to take a printout of this, keep it with you. We as a DevOps engineer, we will work on multiple tools. You will not remember, at least by seeing this like by seeing this paper, you can able to practice. Okay, try to take a printout. It will hardly take 2 rupees, right, or 5 rupees, but it will help you a lot. Okay, you can see this, you can practice by seeing this image, but no one will take this printout and all, I know, but there will be at least one person is can able to take the printout and practice. I will be more than happy, because very important. Like this only you need to learn every tool, right? Next to 10 days we are going to play with all these commands. Very important. You need to, if you print out this, at least before I'm discussing, you can practice all these things. Okay, day 1 was completed successfully. Next 9 days are there, which is very crucial. Okay, I didn't show you how to install Docker, I know. I will show you that, but today focus was to run a container, basic container. I've already shown that. Okay, after completing, just click on delete, close session, because daily you will be having four days. Okay, labs.play with docker. This is the free website provided by community. There are some group of people came into this and they are giving freely to practice Docker. If you don't have an AWS account, you can practice here, but it will be very slow. But I will tell you to create a AWS account. Until you create the AWS account, you can use this website. Okay, that's it for today. I will stop the recording.